Welcome back to another edition of Coach's Corner here at USC Aiken. I'm your host, Morgan Lifchez, and joining us today is Coach Kreutzer from the women's cross-country team. Coach, how has your season been going?
Well, it's off to a good start. We ran at Georgia College for our first meet. It was a 2-mile race, and that was just a good season opener for us to just kind of get back into the racing mode. And we ran against a couple of other teams from our conference there, and it was good to see how we stacked up against them. And it was a fairly flat course, so I think it was a good confidence booster for us. And then last weekend, we ran at Fort Gordon in Augusta. It was the pre-conference race hosted by GRU, and that was a good thing to see what that course will be like because we'll return there in November for conference championships. Okay. And
you have some upcoming meets this coming weekend or tomorrow?
Tomorrow we have a race. The meet is hosted by North Georgia. It is at their Gainesville campus. So we'll be traveling up today to race tomorrow morning at 8:15 a.m. Nice and early. It'll be a 5-kilometer race, and we'll again race against a couple of teams from our conference and some that are non-conference. But this will be the first 5K of the season. The second race was a 6-kilometer race, and this will be a 5K, so I'm hoping some of the girls can have an idea of what their 5K pace is like from high school or from years prior, and we can just kind of run some fast times there. Should be a fairly flat course and some great weather.
Really? It's about time that we have some good weather.
I agree.
So that'll be great for you.
Yes.
Has there been any girls that have surprised you this far in the season?
Well, it's still early to tell. Since we have been still in our training phase, we're still building our mileage, so they haven't felt at their peak. We're still building up the mileage, and so I'm hoping that they're not running their fastest times yet, but it's been really good to see that we're closer packed than we have been ever before, and there's been smaller gaps in between our first 5, and I'm hoping that that is going to translate to a better team score at conference. And no individual has really surprised me yet, but I have been pleasantly surprised to see that a lot of them have come in very fit and fast from the summer training that we've been doing. So I don't know that any one person has surprised me yet, but it's been good to see how the whole team together has been doing that.
Okay, because last time we talked about how Colleen Cirillo, she worked a lot over the summer, especially because she had walked on last season.
That's correct.
And so I just didn't know if maybe there's been somebody else that has been a returner to really step it up this year, like Kayla Milholland, or I don't know, any of your other seniors maybe, if they've impacted any of the new runners on the team. In any way?
Yeah, I mean, Kayla and Alexis have been our leaders in the first 2 meets, and I'm continuing to see that as a trend. They're both at the front of the pack at practices and at the meets. Colleen has been hanging in there tight with Brittany May, and then Kaya, who basically walked onto the team for a small scholarship this year, has been working very hard and hanging with her upperclassmen as well. So everyone is doing much better than expected, so I think that's a good sign this early in the season.
Good. So what are your expectations for the rest of the season?
Well, I'm hoping that we can stay healthy and run fast times, because looking at the 6K race times that they ran last Saturday, we are basically where a lot of them left off at the end of last season, meaning that if we can continue that trend and stay healthy, that we can get even faster times by the end of this season. So I'm really just hoping a lot of them will run their fastest season best 6Ks ever.
Okay. So, well, it sounds really great, and I wish all the best of luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
And I'm sure that we're going to see some great things come from your girls throughout the remainder of the season.
I'm sure.
Okay. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Once again, this is Coach's Corner. Be sure to tune in every week to find the latest update on your Pacer athletes.